we started to make the film about Soraya's art because we thought it was going to be purely about art. But as we talked with Soraya, and she was actually very ill at the time, we heard this remarkable story about how one person made a difference in the lives of hundreds of others, and how all of the women that worked together helped their families through this handcraft and this beautiful work. And so we decided that the film needed to be beyond art, to tell the story of the resilience of women and this incredible depth of culture within Bangladesh.
There were a lot of challenges for us making, this was the first film of this scope that we had ever made. Obviously we were living in North America, the film takes place in Bangladesh, so just geographically there was a challenge. We were fortunate in overcoming those challenges in that we had before, when we lived in Bangladesh before, we had met Catherine and Tariq Masood, and we got back in touch with them and they offered to help us. They also introduced us to Mishuk Munir, who did the original filming of Soraya and the women. The great challenge came in the summer of 2011 when Mishuk and Tariq were killed in a very sad car accident.
Soraya she was 79 when we started filming. She was not well then, and so we had a great challenge as to when was a good time to film her. Sometimes when those film times came, then there may be hartals or the film crew couldn't come, and many different just logistical issues that happened. And so over time, we were able to find the time to do this. A huge challenge also is because Soraya's art and the art made by these women is all over the world. There's some in Bangladesh, but it was scattered all over the world. And in order to make a film about someone's art, one needs to show the art. So it took us the better part of, I would say, 4 years, to find images of the art. We traced people, found out where they were living, maybe they knew somebody else who had a piece, and then the story changed as we found pieces. And you'll see in the film there are a couple of very key places where we found art and we had to re-edit pretty much the whole story because we found an additional piece of art.
Soraya said to us very early on that she wanted the true story told. And, of course, no one is a saint, really. And so we've tried to portray all aspects of her, particularly her commitment to art and really her perfectionism when it came to creating art, and also then to teaching other people, because she had, at some certain point, hundreds of women stitching these elaborate tapestries. But she was very insistent that they do very, very good work.
A thread is many parts often, and each of those parts is strong, but it's much stronger when it comes together. And just as we are in these communities of women that come together and stitch, these communities are stronger when they work together. When we have our companies, when we have any sort of world community, we're much stronger when we cooperate and come together.